The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show. Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander. Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
You also have the Philadelphia Phillies.
How about that?
Who Rhys Hoskins might be back, but shame on anybody for saying that Rhys Hoskins is back.
No.
After one night,
he had a nice double last night. I think he had another hit. He had 2 hits last night. Scored a couple of runs.
It was nice and refreshing to see that.
It was, and he dropped him down in the lineup, which is what I wanted that to happen. It's amazing,
imagine.
Because he's not a leadoff hitter. He was struggling like crazy, and it's even worse when you're the first guy up there and everybody's focused on you. It's like put him back in the lineup where he belongs and see if he can, get a little something going, and he did. Now, last night, you had 7 players with 2+ hits last night. The whole lineup was hitting off of that kid.
Yes.
Vinny Velo gave you his obligatory 5 innings.
Man. Come on.
I mean, it was much. It was. That's right. This 8 starters had an RBI, at least one. That's pretty good. But he gave you 5 innings, and he was only in the 70s in the pitch count, so it was a little bit more of an efficient 5 innings. Typically it's 100 pitches,
Correct.
And he's at 5 innings.
Correct.
So
No, you're right.
A little bit better last night.
Now, again, though, this is the main conversation, and this is why I feel like we bang our heads on the wall trying to do this 162 times a year, is something happens tonight and you expect it to happen over the next 4 or 5 games, and people are horribly disappointed when it only happens 2 over the next 5 games.
Well, they got an off night tonight, and then the Mets come in for the weekend.
Right.
And the Mets are reeling right now. They've lost, I think, 5 straight games. So they're heading in the wrong direction.
Well, what better place to come than Philadelphia?
Exactly. But DeGrom pitches tonight. It's Leicester against DeGrom.
That's going to be a hell of a matchup.
Cubs,
Mets, Chicago.
So then of course, the Mets come here, and they get Wheeler against Nola Friday night. I'm going down for that one. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you're not going to see the Vargas game instead?
No, it was Friday night's game.
How'd you get tickets to that one?
It was.
Did you know that Nola was pitching?
No, I didn't. I lucked out.
Yeah, right.
I totally lucked out.
I feel like you just got what, you and Bruno?
Saturday, it's Mats against Vargas. And Vargas.
Good thing you avoided that one.
Vargas is like 0-1 since he got here in 5 starts. They've lost 3 of his 5 starts.
Right, but he himself,
he hasn't pitched. He hasn't pitched horribly.
He's just been taken out early. Yeah, hence the no decisions.
He's given you like 5-6 innings.
I was going to say,
nights.
I don't think he's maxed out after that, except for maybe 2 past 6, right?
And then
without having it in front of me,
Stroman against Eflin on Sunday.
Oh, sign me up for that one.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
So you better get Friday and Saturday.
If you're not,
because I don't think they're winning Sunday.
No, not at all. And I have to be honest with you, I don't know about Friday night. It's not like they've been stellar.
No, they haven't.
When Nola's been pitching well either.
No, you're right.
So
Wheeler's pretty good.
Unbelievable. I can't believe we continue to have these types of conversations and around about this nonsense, where in reality you know the deal, which is this team is going to be exactly where they are right now a week from now. Nothing major will change.
Could be.
Man, we need something, don't we? We need something. Like, we need some sort of cataclysmic sports level event in order to come in, like some sort of typhoon
about, man?
Just some sort of action.
We're on the cusp of football season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we need it here. We need week 1 against Washington, and it couldn't get here. Or at the very least, I'll give you this. We need a week from tonight. We need regular season football, fantasy, daily leagues are up, weeklies.
You got college tonight, couple games tonight. I'm really upset.
Well, tonight actually is a pretty good slate.
I'm really upset.
Betting slate.
Yes, but I want to watch the stuff, okay? And I pay close to $300 a month in cable bills to Xfinity, Comcast, whatever they are. And I don't get the ACC network. It is an outrage to me. That Clemson game is on the ACC network tonight,
only on the ACC.
And I want to watch it.
I guarantee you that if you got one of those cut the cord things that I'm working with, you could get. Is ESPN Plus give you the ACC?
ESPN Plus gives you anything that's associated with ESPN.
Even the ACC network.
Correct.
Now, can I download ESPN Plus on my smart TV?
Yes. Well, so it's certain smart TVs as long as it's after a certain date, but it's on all PlayStation, Xbox, phones, and other devices.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it on my phone.
So I can get ESPN Plus, I wonder, as an add-on on my PS View.
Absolutely.
I've got a 75-inch television. I want to watch it on that.
You can. I'm telling you.
Through what? I got to buy a PlayStation?
No. PS View you can access on your computer. Any smart TV that has a Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, it has PS View as well. It's an app. You just open up the app. It's the same thing that we watch.
Anywhere
King
you
of
can
Queens
download
on.
an app, you should be able to get ESPN Plus.
It's how we watch all the King of Queens crap, or when I put ESPN on, we're watching PS View.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no PlayStation there.
But you got to pay extra for it. I think you got to pay like $5 a month, don't you, for
so
ESPN Plus?
It's like $49.99 a month for a ton of it's at least 55 channels or something like that.
I'm not getting that. I already have 8,000 other
that's
channels.
my point, though, is that you cut back on all that cord and you go for the app, and now everything is on your TV. You don't need to worry about your box or Comcast or Xfinity adding on. You just pay the set $49.99 and you choose. All right, I have my Prime. I don't need HBO because it's included in my Prime. Boom. I want ESPN, all the ACC and Big 10, Big 12 networks. Then you just pay $5.99 extra instead of having this whole extra package where the cable networks will have you buy a sports package.
Well, I have that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I have the sports package. Why don't I have the ACC network?
Because
that's my question.
It's probably part of another add-on. Or it's an ESPN Plus exclusive. I don't know.
It has to be ESPN's fault.
I wouldn't bank on that.
They're
ESPN
probably trying to
seems know what they're doing.
strong-arm the cable companies.
Well, that could
That's
be
probably what they're doing.
That could be it, but you get around that easily by cutting the cord.
I want to watch Clemson.
You're way too reliant upon the cable company.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Use the cable company for your internet. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I use the same one for the internet. I just don't have any TV. Can we interest you in a landline? No. Can we interest you in TV, 300 packages? No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I've got one package. I'm good with it.
Yeah?
Yeah. 609-403-0973 is the text board. All right, here's what's happening. At 12:30, Josh Henning, our producer, as you heard him already, he's tracked down Justin Dunn. And
Justin Dunn.
This is the gunnery graduate.
Now, explain what the gunnery is.
The gunnery
people
is
don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
a high school. It's not a military school.
It's where you went.
Correct. It's where I went for 3 years. It's where Justin went as well. And I don't know how this whole thing started.
Well, I saw a tweet from Peter Gammons earlier this week.
That's right.
And he was talking about this kid who was originally a Mets draft pick. And I guess he was involved in the Cano trade.
Correct.
Where the Mets shipped him and a bunch of other prospects out to Seattle for Cano. So now he's with the Seattle Mariners organization, and he's in the low-level minor
But where?
leagues. I don't know. I'll find it.
Josh will find out where.
But here's the thing. Like, I showed that to you, and we were just talking about your high school. Josh went and found him.
Yeah.
And he's getting him on the show. So you and
don't give me
Justin-
too much credit. It's more like stumbled upon.
You and Justin are going to go back in time and talk about the gun.
No, listen. He's 23 years old. The kid just graduated.
Graduated?
Yeah, from high school, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I graduated at 41 years old.
It's the same high school.
I don't know how much.
It's not like you're going to ask about the girl from 8th grade.
Maybe.
That sat at your lunch table.
No, I was there 10th grade on. All right? Come on. I was not there
I'm
9th
joking.
grade. I know, but I was just clarifying. So, outside of that, you can ask him about New York. You can ask him about Seattle. You can ask him about, you can find things off the Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
I'll cover the high school stuff.
Okay.
How about that?
I think that'll exhaust it.
Yeah, I mean,
be
I
honest.
think at this point, right?
He's a pitcher. He's
He
a
is.
right-handed pitcher.
He is. No, this is great, man,
He
because
was a first-round draft pick.
he right out of the gunnery?
Yeah, back in 2016.
So he didn't go to school.
He was assigned to the Brooklyn Cyclones right out of the draft. And then, of course, he got traded.
No, he
back
went to
on
Boston College.
December 3rd.
Okay, so he's drafted and then did not sign and went to BC.
Right.
Okay.
Now, he was drafted originally by the Dodgers.
Got it.
Way back in 13. I'm
Got
talking
it.
about the time that he did sign, which was
Oh, all right. So
2016.
there you go. Go back up real quick. So it says baseball coach of the Gunnery, a boarding school in Washington, Connecticut. At 13 years old, Dunn left his family on Long Island to attend the Gunnery. That's 8th grade, man.
How about that? He's one of your boys.
Unbelievable. Do they have a middle school then?
No idea. What are you?
I'm asking you.
Nobody cares. Seriously.
Is this what this interview is going to be about?
No, this is
now 1 o'clock.
This
Jeff
is going to be
Mosher.
all. This is going to be all you.
Jeff Mosher is going to regale us of stories of him in 8th grade at 1 o'clock. Because I don't know how the hell he's going to squeeze anything out of this 4th preseason
Hey,
game.
trust me.
And shame on him for trying.
Trust me, if there's anybody that can do it, he can do it.
I can't, honestly. Now, he's also hosting today from 2 to 6, so he's going to fill the crossover quota with his 1 o'clock hit.
Okay.
And then at 1:30, oh, no, pardon me.
He was very upset that he wasn't involved in a crossover.
We'll address
the
that.
other day.
He's only got 15 minutes because at 1:15, James Ennis is going to join us.
From the
Philadelphia
Sixers.
76er, James Ennis is going to join us, and we'll try to talk as little about his job as humanly possible. And hopefully he's got some sort of secondary thing going on, summertime, he's hanging out. Maybe he's got a business or something to push that we can help and explore there. Because do you really want to dive into the X's and O's?
Not X's and O's, but I want to talk basketball with him.
Okay.
Is
How
there
about
anything about sports that you want to discuss
Not
today?
today.
You have been looking past the Phillies. Nah, I'm not interested there. The 4th preseason game, no interest
No,
there.
the Phillies we talked. I have interest in the Phillies. I will maintain discussion of the Phillies.
You will?
Yes.
Okay.
And not just to appease you. I understand that the Phillies are a big issue right now. I understand that the Phillies are still close and they're still hanging.
Is there anything more in this Clowney thing, or is that evaporated?
Well, apparently the latest is that Clowney is just not really a fit here, at least from what's being said about the locker room and about the team. And I don't know how much that's true versus how much it just got out. But the reality is that the arrival or non-arrival of Jadeveon Clowney is completely inconsequential to week 1 and really the start of the season.
Well, the last I heard is he's content to sit out a few weeks.
Because he doesn't want to go to Miami?
I don't know. He just doesn't want to play until he gets this contract, I guess, or gets.
Well, you'd like to think
he hasn't signed the tender yet.
Correct. And
so
maybe if Miami trades, then there's the incentive to do that, to work out a deal. Right? You would think.
I mean, either that or they just have him come in there on a 1-year deal, like the Eagles would have if they would have done it, right? And then he hits the market.
Well, no matter what,
Yes.
he's a rental player.
I mean, if you're Clowney, don't you want to hit the market?
You do, but if you're playing in Miami, I don't know how many eyes are going to be on you and how easy it is to have big numbers.
Well, remember, the value in Miami is that it's almost the same exact defense he's been playing in Houston, whereas if he came to Philadelphia, he's got to go from a 3-4 to a 4-3 and put his hand in the dirt.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
I understand, which is a major difference.
Yeah,
And also
And
in
I don't wanna
Philadelphia,
down-
he'd be part of a rotation, whereas in Miami, he'd be featured.
Right.
Yeah, okay, he'd be featured, but he would have far less talent around him in Miami than he would have in either Houston or Philadelphia.
Yeah, but that's not going to affect.
Absolutely.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
Playing
won't-
alongside Fletcher Cox
it
or
won't-
Jadeveon
no,
Clowney
it
or
won't-
J.J. Watt.
It won't affect his value the next year. He's
I
still going to get his
disagree.
money.
If the guy comes out and has 6 sacks and he's getting blown off the ball because he's double and triple teamed because the guys next to him are either out of gas or out of skill in the fourth quarter, it's going to look bad for him.
No, I disagree. He is what he's.
This isn't the NBA,
talent.
man. I think you're wrong there.
You're making this sound like he's playing in like a lesser conference in college football as opposed to playing in the big, Big Ten or something, and it affects his draft status. That's not the way. These player evaluators and scouts in the NFL, they know what the player is, regardless of where he is.
It may not impact his value on a bad
It
team.
might impact his numbers, but I still don't think it's going to impact his value to the next team that wants to give him a 3, 4, 5-year deal.
If it's a good football team, they're going to try to get as little as they can on him, and they'll have.
That's what he's got an agent for.
Well, but my point of it, though, is that not everybody signs for top market value. We saw that with Alshon Jeffrey here, a guy who was expected to get a lot more in the open market, how he played it, and got him for far cheaper. Now, again, re-signed, and got a deal going. But
he also wanted to be on a team that could win, too.
Yeah,
That's
so
different.
Jadeveon Clowney's going to want to get the hell out of Miami, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, I agree. He's going to.
So he might
he's going to hit the market.
And okay, so I think we're closer than we think on this conversation. My point of it being is that him wanting to get the hell out of Miami, hit the open market, and play for a contender, if he only has 6 sacks this season, might impact his market value there, as opposed to if the Cardinals or Raiders come calling, sure, they'll spend money hand
Right.
over fist.
There's always going to be a team like that.
A crap team
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, okay. There's always going to be a
Right.
crap team at the bottom of the barrel that smells like John Gruden's feces that's going to be able to max out somebody.
so the Raiders.
Just say his feet.
Oh, Antonio Brown's feet.
Okay,
I think it's
good.
one of the same at this point.
Yes.
I've had it with this Hard Knocks infatuation.
You didn't even watch it, did you?
I can't anymore. It's just so much of Gruden. Mm-hmm. He's reminding me, outside of the accent, and Collins had his own little twang to it. But it just reminds me way too much of Doug Collins.
It's the only football.
Coming out of the booth and leading someone to the promised land.
It's the only pro football for me in the month of August because this preseason is no more.
See, you need the ACC channel.
I do.
That's it.
I need the ACC network, and I need it tonight.
Right.
All right?
Absolutely. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Now, do you need it? How many big games do you really need it for this year?
I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, it's going to be probably a featured game on it every week. Clemson's going to be on ABC and Fox
That's
and
what I'm
some
saying,
of these other
right.
networks throughout the year because they're the top team. But
Sure, so-
I like some of the other teams in that league.
But, I mean, is Clemson Miami going to be exclusively on the ACC
I have
channel?
no idea.
Well, don't we have it in front of us?
No.
You can see the
I have-
Clemson schedule.
I don't have the schedule. I have the win totals.
Now, what's the over-under for Miami? I'm curious.
For Miami?
They come off with a loss
8.5.
now. They cover.
8.5 is their win total.
Boy, I wonder what the cover total would be. Probably a little higher, right?
It was 8.5. Now it's off the board because they've already played a game.
Well,
but
they
it was,
lost, right.
It was 8.5. Okay. Clemson's is 11.5.
I like the over there, don't you?
That means they run the table.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, you would expect them to be right back in the playoffs, representing the ACC, I would think.
Yeah, you figure that's the one thing, and I'd love to get some people's feedback.
609-403-0973. We got
because
some
we
text,
have
too.
this with other sports, like the NBA. There for a while it was Golden State and a team from the East, whether it was Cleveland, whether you think it was the Raptors, whether you thought it was the Celtics, whoever. There was basically one team in the NBA, and you were like, let's just get to June and start the series, right? With college football, it's basically like that. You got Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Georgia, which could be the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio
Maybe
State.
Ohio State, and a lesser degree, I'm sure there's some Michigan people out there that are still thinking
Probably.
that Harbaugh is going to go, 12-0 or 11-1 and
Which
finally
isn't
beat
gonna
Ohio
really
State.
happen, but still.
Right. But
I mean, are we missing?
there's basically 5 teams. Is Oregon good enough?
No. Oregon, Texas, these teams aren't
No.
really good enough. Are we missing another team in the SEC? Wouldn't be LSU.
Well, I have Georgia already.
You have
You got
Georgia.
2. I don't
Right.
think Florida's good enough, and I don't think LSU's good enough.
No, probably. Well, not to make the 4.
Right. So you basically have 5 teams vying for 4 spots.
Yeah,
At
and
the beginning
Notre
of the
Dame?
year. Maybe.
They'd have to do pretty damn
They
good this year.
play Georgia, I think, week 2.
If
So
they
you'll
beat
find if
Georgia-
they beat Georgia, then they're in the conversation.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, in preseason they're in the conversation, right?
Well,
can you
that's
add them as a
simply
6
because
team
they're
or no?
Notre Dame.
Okay,
you
that's
know?
fair. That's fair.
I should look at their schedule.
All right, first text to hit right away on the text
Penn
board.
State's is 8.5. Their win
I
total.
put them more with Oregon, Texas. I don't know if they're good enough, but they're going to be good.
No, they're not. They're not.
609-403-0973. Again, on Twitter at Harry Mays, to you at Shander Show. We'll chat with Justin Dunn, Gunnery alum, like Shander, fellow Gunnery alum. Hey, where's that new intro song?
Oh, the Migos tune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought we were going to introduce it on our segment. Aren't we going to have a segment, a Step It Up segment, like Take a Risk segment on Friday?
Well, yeah. We got to toss that around a little bit more. We got to really hone that in.
Let's do that at 12:45.
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's come out of the break, Josh.
Always take the risk.
There you go.
Living life. Go hard and don't quit. Go hard.
Check the wrist.
Splash like the ice on the wrist.
There you go.
Flash, like that ice on the
It's a
wrist.
call I can't miss.
All right, so that's what we're doing. At 12:45, we'll come out with this, and we'll hash out that segment.
But we need big wheels in order to really do this at your house one day. At one of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we should film a video.
I can get big
But
wheels.
we need 2 big wheels.
I'm going to get them today. maybe. Actually, I have more time on Friday.
What is your fiance saying about you every day buying stuff and just being as obsessive as you are
Well, I didn't
about
buy.
all this stuff?
Hold on a second. I did not buy anything yesterday.
You didn't?
I bought some frames.
Well, then you did
I
buy
bought, well,
some.
yeah, but I mean frames. Like I'm
Okay.
not buying a chainsaw every day.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You had implements and
No,
tools every day.
I have a small electric chainsaw that I used today to cut out some thicker, like weed level plants.
You were weed whacking this morning.
And I cleared out. Of course, I was weed whacking this morning. Are you kidding me? I'm addicted to it. I'm gonna go home. I even took a
You
picture.
should work for the township.
I took
there.
a picture of the edge job I did on my pathway, and I sent it to my family because they didn't believe that
Seriously,
I could do this.
we should get Alfie to hook you up with a job with Abington Township, and you can go along the roads with your weed whacker and trim all the high weeds and stuff.
Well, I don't
That'd
want
be
to
good
use
for
my
you.
own, though, because I don't want to wear mine down. I got one of those 58-volt lithium battery. You've seen it.
I saw it.
It's the size of my head.
I know.
The